What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I'm going to try to provide you guys with two different ABX guides, both for Kid Cable and Summer Days Cable, because they do play differently. There are actually different rotations for both of them. One, you're going to use the tier 3, the other, you're not. And there are reasons for that. Even the rotation's a little bit different in your actual skills. And I wanted to do both of them because I realized a lot of people don't have the Summer Days uniform. A lot of people went out and bought the Kid Cable uniform, and this thing is absolutely every bit as strong as the Summer Days uniform. It's just that for me, my Summer Days uniform was already at Mythic. I've already leveled it up. I've had it for months, and I'm not going to level up the Kid Cable uniform because I really just don't need to. I actually just want to save my resources. But for those of you that don't have the Summer Days uniform and you have the Kid Cable uniform, this thing is insane. It is absolutely insane. And in some ways, it's actually a little bit easier to play than the Summer Days uniform. That's really just a matter of opinion. It's definitely more fast paced. This is a very aggressive play style, the way you play him. It's pretty fun, actually. I really enjoyed it. But as far as how you play this guy, you want to use his tier 3. And the tier 3 doesn't have much text. You just have all defense down, which isn't applicable in ABX, but you do have the increased damage by 45% for one attack. And the way that you play this cable is pretty much the way that you always would play him. I mean, the rotations are the same generally for both of them. You know, you'll just hit your 3 for your damage accumulation, then your 4 to bring out your summons, and your 2 for your crit rate buff, and then your 5th skill. So it's just like so. And that's pretty much pretty easy, right? And you just put the proc on the 5th skill. Now, here's the funny thing. Whenever there's mobs around the beast, whenever there's a bunch of these guys around the beast, you don't want to use your 2nd skill. That damn thing will set off the proc. And this goes for both Kid Cable and Summer Days Cable. You don't want to use the 2nd skill because it will set off the proc early. And you don't want to do that. You don't want the proc early. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the tier 3 ready to use. So with Kid Cable, the rotation is 3, 4, 2, 5. You'll let that play out, and once he starts standing there a little bit, when you have about 2 seconds left on the proc, go ahead and hit the 2 and then the 1. Now, the reason you want to do the 2 first is because the 2, he actually slashes, and I can tell you guys right now, a lot of times when you do that 2 skill, like say you do the 1, then the 2, the beast, the targeting gets all off, and Kid Cable will actually miss his attacks. That means you're not going to be doing as much damage. So you want to do the 2 and then cancel the 1. The reason you want to do the 2 and the 1, even though the proc isn't going to be engaged on them, is you're just trying to get the charge up on the tier 3. That way you'll do 3, 4, 2, 5. You'll let this thing play out. Once the 2's off cooldown, hit the 2, 1, cancel the 2 into the 1, and then you're going to go 3, 4, 5 tier 3. Just like that. And you want to put your proc on the tier 3. Another reason that you're doing it this way is because for Kid Cable, on his 5th skill, he actually does get a damage proc. So you're trying to incorporate that damage proc with his tier 3. And he's insane, guys. I did over 7 million, and ever since they changed ABX, now it's, once you hit 7 million, the beast just decreases damage received something fierce. And, you know, I'm still running a CTP of energy. I will say this, the rotation that I'm doing, you know, because I'm throwing in the 2 and the 1, and he does have a lot of residual damage from those skills, a rage would be better just to throw it out there. But honestly, guys, I don't think you really need it, and you'll find that the CTP of energy just does so good against null. So you're kind of weighing out your options, you know. If you really want him to be optimal, then a rage is going to be better for ABX. But personally, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, I'm somewhat competitive in ABX, but I'm not massively competitive. And this is not a comparison, by the way, between these two uniforms, because my Kid Cable uniform is at normal. You know, it just wouldn't be fair to compare a normal ranked uniform to a mythic uniform. And speaking of this mythic uniform, the way you want to play this cable is, and let me show you something real quick before I show you the rotation, is since he gains the chain hit damage and the critical damage when he uses Plasma Shower, which is his 5th skill, this is something Kid Cable doesn't have to worry about, which is actually pretty freaking nice. And also because Summer Days does continuous a channeling skill on his 5th skill rather than Kid Cable not doing one, it's actually better to cancel your tier 3 for Summer Days. You're just trying to get this damage proc before you go into your 5th skill. He actually does a lot more damage from doing the fifth skill because you get the chain hit, you get the extra critical damage. Although if your critical damage is already maxed, it really doesn't even matter. But you're getting that chain hit damage, which is massive, and you're getting that damage proc from the tier 3. So for this guy, you have to play. And by the way, when you're playing Summer Days, it can be a little tricky sometimes. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, but you have to be careful. Again, whenever these mobs are out around the beast, you don't want to use that second skill. That damn thing will set off the proc. I mean, you can sometimes, you'll get away with it, but you will lose a tremendous amount of damage. I'd rather lose a little crit rate or not gain some crit rate and keep my proc where it belongs than lose my proc. So 3, 4, 2, 5 will be the very first rotation because there's going to be no mobs outside of the beast. And then you're going to go 3, and there'll probably be mobs 4, 5. You'll do 2 rotations like that. And then after that, it's going to be 3, 4, tier 3, 5. Just like so. And that's what you're trying to do. Now you're going to notice in the run that you'll watch me do that there will be moments where after I'll be doing my fifth skill like so, and I'll have like 2 seconds or a second left on my proc, I'll hit the second skill. And then I'll just cancel into another skill. I do that because just like Kid Cable, I'm trying to build up the charge on the tier 3. So you'll see me do that every once in a while. It really depends. If there's a bunch of mobs around the beast, a lot of times I won't use the second skill. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. It's kind of one of those things that I just feel out. And if I don't use it in the next rotation, I'll slip it in there when I have about a second or 2 seconds left on my original proc. That way, the residual damage from it will already finish before it will set off the proc again, and you'll keep your proc on the fifth skill. You'll see what I'm talking about in the run. As far as my builds, guys, I have 43,000. Well, you know, actually, here, now you'll actually see a better representation of how much energy attack I have. So I have 57,000 energy attack on Summer Days. Max attack speed, we're getting some crit rate. We'll get extra from the second skill. We have 183 critical damage. This will be maxed out. Whenever we do the fifth skill, and he has max ignore defense, max skill cooldown. So 57,000 energy attack, fully awakened power Rainbow Hawk set, CTP of energy, and then of course a mythic ranked uniform. And as far as, I don't know why I did that. And as far as Kid Cable, he has 52,000. So I have 5,000 more energy attack on my Summer Days uniform. And that's why the score is going to be massively different between them. But believe me, if Kid Cable had a mythic uniform, he'd do every bit as good. He is super freaking strong. I'm not getting any of the extra stats from the uniform because it's only at normal. And as far as his details, it's going to be the same as the other Cable uniform. We do have 48% ignore defense, so I did have a little bit less ignore defense. This is going to make a slight difference, but not a massive difference. It's almost maxed out, and then we have max skill cooldown. And then everything else is exactly the same, except I have a normal ranked uniform. So let's jump into the 2 runs, and let's rock and roll. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with the Summer Days uniform. Alright, so we're going to go 3, 4, 2, 5. There's no mobs around, so I went ahead and used the second skill, threw it in there, get that extra crit rate. By the way, if you have max crit rate, you have a rage, you really won't even need to use it unless you're trying to get the tier 3 off cooldown. Now there you see I did the 3, 4, 5, and now I'm going to go 3, 4, tier 3, 5. There you go. And if I would have slipped in that second skill, I could have got a little extra critical rate, done some more critical hits probably, and done a little bit more damage, but you got to be careful when you do that because, again, sometimes it'll just set off the proc early. But when them mobs are around you, I wouldn't really recommend using the second skill. And look at how well this is working. We're performing beautifully. And by the way, I don't know if any of you noticed, but I did change my emulator. I am now playing on BlueStacks, which seems to be amazing. No flickering, no problems. It looks absolutely beautiful. We're running on max settings, so I'm very happy to see that we got some good. Now, what I did in that first time, whenever we canceled the Beast Roar, is whenever you attack, Cyclops there will actually do his force skill, and he'll actually deal burn. And the first time you cancel the Roar against the Beast, you can just use Cable attack, and 9 times out of 10, Cyclops will come in, do his force skill, and he'll cancel the Beast Roar. Now, in the next 2 times that the beast does his roar, you do not want to do that. You want to switch to Cyclops. There we go. And you saw me there just hit that second skill just a second ago because I'm trying to get that charge up on that tier 3. Switch. Another little tidbit is whenever you're playing with Cyclops and you have him in like I have right now, to make sure that Cable doesn't come in and be a striker, because if he does, he'll do some damage and he'll actually set off his proc. And then when you bring him back in, your proc will all be triggered and you're going to lose a lot of damage. So as long as you make sure that the beast doesn't hit you, because Cyclops actually, or a Cable actually attacks when you're being attacked, as long as Cyclops is in an iframe, then Cable won't come in and strike. So it's really good to use that third skill or even the tier 3 to avoid that from happening. And remember, the beast does his roar at 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Then he'll do it again about a minute 20, minute 18, somewhere in there. The second one always fluctuates a little bit. And then the third one's always at 35 seconds. Oh yeah, come on. Come on, you see, now watch what I do. I'm going to stay in an iframe to make sure Cable doesn't come in. Because if the beast attacks us, there's a good chance Cable will come in and strike. And you don't want that. See, there's no mobs around, so I did 3, 4, 2, 5. And we're doing amazing, guys. I mean, seriously, this is a really great score. We're getting a massive decreased damage received right now. And there you saw me hit 3, 4, 5. I didn't use my second skill because of the mobs. 3, 4, here we go. 5, 5, come on, come on, come on, come on, here we go. And we were able to hit 8 million. I'm very proud of this score. Cable is an absolute monster. Now let's jump on to the Kid Cable run. So as I said earlier, Kid Cable plays the same, right, as far as the rotation that you're going to use, but he plays differently and when you're going to be using certain skills. So we just do 3, 4, 2, 5, just like what we did with the Summer Days uniform. Now we do the 2, 1. As soon as the 2 is off cooldown, hit the 2, 1. And there you go. And then you saw me hit 3, 4, 5, tier 3. We'll run through it again. There's no mobs around. 3, 4, 2, 5. As long as the mobs are spread out, you can go ahead and hit that second skill. There you saw me hit the 2, 1. The rotation with Kid Cable is 3, 4, 2, 5. Then it's cancel 2, 1. Then it's 3, 4, 5, tier 3. So we did 3, 4, 5 right there. We're going to hit our 2, 1, 2, 1. Then we're going to hit 3, 4, 5, tier 3. Works like a champ. And if this thing would have been a mythic, I mean, I bet I might have even done better than what I did with the Summer Days uniform. I mean, seriously, guys, this thing is insane. This is a very insane uniform. And I really actually, it kind of grows on me playing with Kid Cable. He's really fun to play. I like the style, the jumping around, throwing around. It's really cool the way he plays. Just super aggressive. I mean, yeah, you know, Summer Days is more in your face with the channeling skill, right? And all the previous iterations of Cable. But this version is just, it's different. And that's kind of fun, actually. I actually really like it. You know, when I was playing with him here, I thought, damn, man, this is pretty cool. I'm actually enjoying it. And the other thing I like about this is I'm actually using the tier 3. Whereas with Summer Days, you just cancel it. And it seems like, man, I don't know. It just feels kind of weird canceling tier 3s, to be perfectly honest. But I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot more damage out of that uniform if you just cancel it. You will get a lot more damage. Just get the damage proc from it and put your proc on the 5th skill with the Summer Days uniform. Okay. And, you know, just like I said earlier, you know, make sure you're in an iframe. That way the beast doesn't attack you, so Cable doesn't come in and strike. And, you know, we're doing really, really amazing. I'm very proud of Kid Cable. I think he's awesome. Honestly, when I see how well he does now with a normal rain uniform, it does kind of motivate me to want to level it up. It really does. Because I am curious if he's actually stronger. I've seen a lot of other videos where it looks like they're virtually the same. So, I mean, if you have Kid Cable, I mean, I think Netmarble did a really good job with this uniform. You know, to be as strong as a Summer Days uniform is pretty awesome and pretty insane, to be perfectly honest. And I love it. I think it's great. You know, the Summer Days uniform has been in the game for, what, 7 months? Over 7 months now? So it's high time we got another uniform for all the players to be able to get, which I love. Okay, 3, 4, 2, 5. We got plenty of time. We're going to hit the 2, 1, so our charge gets built up a little bit for our tier 3. Then 3, 4, 5, tier 3. And he's just really easy to play. We're going to break 7 million. Not bad. And again, guys, if I would have had a mythic uniform, I bet you anything we probably would have hit that 8 million mark, maybe done a little bit better. So hopefully this will help some of you out there as far as whether you're playing with Summer Days or Kid Cable. Either uniform you have, they're both freaking insane. So let me know how you're doing in ABX, what kind of score you're able to get, and the energy attack that you have. I have 83% energy attack on my cards. Also, I'm streaming Marvel Future Fight on Twitch at 10 p.m. GMT plus 7 time, which is Vietnamese time, every single day. So I hope all of you join me. The link to the Twitch channel is in the description below. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.